So it's a really tough time for females, especially in the brackets of 20 and 30. It seems like those were the ages that at the time of the society, especially in LA, we've had everybody just being more glamorous and all partying instead of really getting into their own issues and standing on their own 2 feet. So
exactly,
it's been a little crazy around here, but it seems to be simmering down. Everything seems to be getting back to somewhat order. But wow, it's just a constant. I'm constantly just trying to direct them in a way that they can stand on their own 2 feet, be confident, and find something that gives them their life's purpose, what they want to do. They're singing or writing or dancing or whatever. And you just keep them involved as much as you can in different activities. And it's a real tough question because you don't know which way to go sometimes,
Well, I know. I have 4 kids, but I only have 1 daughter. And she's 22, and right now her life revolves around her friends and, yes, the next boyfriend that comes up and going out with them. But I continue to tell her you need to get back into school, you need to find something to do for yourself. You have to make a career. You can't depend on any guy to support you. My mother was married for 16 years, and she got a divorce. She had no skills. She had no credit behind her name, and I watched her struggle. And so this is so very important to me that I stood on my own 2 feet before I got married.
Right.
And this is what I'm trying to get across to her.
Yeah, and a lot of most men in the world, even the younger men, like women more standing on their own 2 feet than just being whatever they want them to be. And there's some men that don't, but majority that I've seen, they're out there really like a woman who's strong and independent and on her way.
Right, exactly.
Because it takes 2 people in any relationship, and it takes nowadays to have a family and to have children and stuff like that. Both people have to have their feet on the ground and working.
Exactly. More than 1 paycheck coming in.
Right. That's the way it is now. Different world.
Oh, definitely. Well, let's shift gears a little bit. I want to talk about something that I found incredibly interesting when I was reading your bio, and that is that you, well, for one thing, you're a veteran actress, and you've starred in roles, such as, in Hoffa and Basic Instinct, the original Batman movie. But one thing that I thought was very interesting, and that was that you joined the original Girls, and which supported Ray Charles in a national Pepsi advertising campaign with the Super Bowl, airing. So, what was it like? Did you actually work with Ray Charles to make that as part of the commercial, or was it something you did kind of separate and they put it into the commercial later?
Oh no, I was on the set with them. What happened was, I was going to film and director school at the time, and I wanted to get experience of how it was to work with actors, get information from them, so when I become a director, I can handle and do it much better than. I wanted to learn both sides, basically. And there was a casting director that I knew, and she got me on the set. And the director of the Pepsi commercial, Diet Pepsi commercial, had his assistant. He saw me way in the back. I guess he just liked my style or something. And he dragged me through all these people and said, I want you to join the Aha Girls with Ray Charles, and that's what happened, basically.
Wow.
So I was there at the
right
right time.
Right time, huh?
Yeah, and so I got to stand with them and talk to them and work with them for a couple of days, and my line was Aha. So so it was just at the right place at the right time, basically. And it was just exciting because I got to learn from the fabulous director and also work with some great talented people.
So you have your fingers in many pies. I mean, besides
sometimes
singing
too
and
many.
acting, directing, mom, wife, everything. My gosh. Do you take a breath every now and again? Do you have anything you like to do on your downtime, if you have any?
Yeah, actually I hit the gym. I do kickboxing. I've been doing it for 10 years.
Oh, my gosh.
Keeps me sane.
Oh, my gosh, it's wonderful. Take out your aggressions and you can beat somebody up.
That's right. I put little pictures on the bag and boom, boom.
That's so
how hard
funny.
is it? I've always wondered how hard is it to kickbox, because just to hear the thought of it just exhausts me. When I think about it, it just seems like it's very, very difficult.
Well, it is hard, but that's why you have to learn the basics, which is with anything. But if you don't, and then you make the wrong move, you can kind of hurt yourself. Which I've done. But
you always have to say, not the face, not the face.
That's right. And I've been knocked out a few times.
Oh, no.
No. We were in the ring, and I wasn't paying attention, and boom.
Oh, my gosh. That is horrible. Oh, my gosh. Well, I mean, you were only knocked out for a few seconds, I would hope. I mean, you really didn't get... I just can't even imagine that. Did you have a black eye or something afterwards?
No, we had. When he was training us, he made us wear these little helmets, so it didn't really knock us out too bad. But no, it was okay. Just a little. My cheek was a little bruised and stuff like that, but nothing broken or anything. And it made me pay attention. Keep those hands up.
And you could go home and say, kids, this is what you don't do.
That's right.
Well, I also wanted to say that I commend you for supporting so many charities with your music, Operation Gratitude, World Fest, Indie Music for Life, and more. Why is this so important to you?
Well, it's always good to give back. I mean, I've had a lot of opportunities people have given me, and I like to give back and help other people. Just in lately, I've been really getting into, of course, animals, saving the animals, and I have to watch that I don't save too many and bring them all home.
Yeah.
But I've been donating and helping people out there doing that because they needed some support out here. But I just enjoy if I get the opportunity to share my stuff, then I just love to just give back to people and help them.
Well, I think that's an awesome thing. And, as busy as you are, I think it's great that you take the time to do that. And not only that, but you recognize the importance of being a part of something that's, bigger for the greater whole and the greater good. So that's an awesome thing. Do you have a particular, is there a particular charity that you really enjoy working with the most?
Well, right now I'm working with a lot of different animal charities out here. There's so many of them in Los Angeles. We started off, I was helping a charity out here. I can't remember, it was for the cats, the feral cats. And then I went to dog rescues. And so there's so many of them out here I was working with. Wow, Best Friends. And, oh, God, I can't remember. There's just so many that we just, I try to take on a few a year and then just...
Yeah.
But I started. My friend was in a organization out here for trapping feral cats, and I said, "Well, I'll help you one day." And I went out to help her one day, and I ended up keeping more than I should have kept. I was supposed to get them adopted.
and those feral cat communities are quite interesting. When I moved into the home I live in now, across the street from me was a community of feral cats, and I was never really familiar with. Anytime I saw a cat, I just always referred to it as a stray cat, And it wasn't until I moved here that I really began to get educated and learn more about the feral cat communities and how, they kind of all cluster together. And, if you can ever get them to warm up to you, I mean, feeding them is always a great idea. In some respects, other respects, it's like, well, you've got them for life. But yeah, they're the most loving animals to not be, trained or domesticated, I guess is the best word to use. But they easily become domesticated if they become your friend, trust me.
Oh, yeah,
We've adopted quite a few of the feral cats that have just, from kittens on up, that have just come to be great pets, They're some of the most loving animals in the world. But the thing that I love most about animals is how, they will love you no matter what. And, they don't have preconceived notions, judgments, or what have you. They just love you, and they want to be loved, and that's all they require.
And food.
Well, that and food, that's true. Food is a key factor, but, they really are, it really is an unconditional kind of love that, we typically don't see in the human form a lot, but with animals, happen so freely, you know. But I love animals. So I'm like you. I would have a ton if I could, but I can't. So, but they're, you know, I think sometimes people kind of forget or they take for granted that all animals have homes, but that's not always the case, you know.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. That I know. And as I took so many in that now I just donate money or go volunteer my time somewhere else.
Yeah, there you go. You can go to the animal shelter and hang out, spend some time, and not come home with them. You know, it's my youngest daughter. She loves animals, and this is why I don't take her to the animal shelter very often, because every time I go, Mom, look at how they're looking at us. You know, and I'm like, they all look that way. You know,
yeah, I couldn't do that.
She would have all of them, you know, if she could. So, and I believe when she grows up one day, she will have a bunch of animals in her home. So, no doubt about it. Now, let's talk about a song that was on one of your albums. Actually, the album was Moving On, and it was written by Keith Urban and Vernon Russ. The song was called That Was Her, This Is Now. Talk a little bit about how you came to select that song for your album.
Eileen?
Hello? She dropped.
Eileen?
Yeah?
Oh, okay. You dropped and you called back?
Yeah.
Did it drop? Oh,
yes.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Did you hear what Dawn said, the last part?
The last part was, how did I get about doing that song with Keith Urban and Vernon Russ? Is that what you were
How
talking
did you
about?
select it? Yeah.
Yeah, how did you select it? Did they write it for you in your album, or was this just a song you came across and you said, I like it, I want to put it on my album?
No, they didn't write that for me. Actually, about 5 years ago, I was working with the same producer who worked in Nashville quite a bit for a lot of publishing companies, and that song came on a demo. Actually, Keith Urban was singing it, and at that time when it was even longer than that, I think, he wasn't even famous at that time. He was just getting started. And I heard the song, and I said, well, I'm going to keep this song, and I'll do it later on. I really love this song. And then when I did the Moving On CD, then I put it on that CD, but it came through a demo, and because he never released that one, and he went on to bigger and better things.
Yeah, really.
And so I was really fortunate. It fell in my hands, and I got to sing it, and I connected with both of them, and told them thank you for letting me do their song, and it was fun. It was great. It did really great on country radio. And it's still going. They're still playing it on country radio all over the place. So it was one of those things that kind of just fell into my hands. But I always loved it. It's a great song.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your brand new album, Let It Go. Did you have an inspiration behind this album?
Well, that's a good question. No, I was just starting to write, and I think the first song I wrote was Let It Go, because as you know, watching my two children grow up and the friends around me and friends that I know and stuff like that, people were having a little difficult time. I was trying to find something to write to kind of ease their mind, as you want to say, or give them a few minutes to kind of step out of what they're going through and kind of just go another direction. And so that's where it kind of started. And I had such a good time on the other album, I decided to keep up some of the women's issues because I didn't realize how important we kind of needed a few songs out there for younger for the younger girls who are from 20 and up. So yeah, I kept it going like that, and it seems to be. I don't want to give too much away.
Right. No, of course not.
Because if I start talking, I'll tell you everything. But there is a few more. There's some songs on there that still go in the same direction. Like the last album we did, Out with the Girls, and it was about girls getting together, all different kind of girls, and just going out and have fun. Get away from life's pressures. And there was a song called Fate that I did. It was about, sometimes we'd end up in the wrong relationships, and we don't see it, but other people see it around us, and we should kind of like step out of ourselves and kind of look at it, and have some faith in yourself that you'll find something great out there. So it's still kind of continuing along that line, but not getting too, where, too pushed